if you're listening to this, I'm going to guess you're probably fighting a losing battle with your inbox.
Oh, that's a safe bet.
You open your mail app and it's just this wall of chronological chaos, right? It's not a mailbox anymore. It's more like a digital avalanche.
A digital avalanche. I like that. It's very accurate, and the numbers really do back up that feeling of just dread. We're talking about a world where Gmail alone has over 2 billion active users.
2 billion. That's staggering.
It is, and the volume of information means the average professional is spending hours, literally hours every day, just reviewing and filing and reacting to emails.
Not doing their job, just managing the notifications about their job.
Exactly. It's a massive, unseen source of cognitive load.
And that cognitive load is what we're here to talk about eliminating, or at least, dramatically shrinking. We're doing a deep dive today into the January 2026 updates to Gmail, all powered by Google's latest AI, Gemini 3.
And this is a really crucial moment. The sources we've looked at, everything from official Google announcements to deep analysis from the New York Times, TechCrunch, Forbes.
CNET, ZDNet.
All of them. They all suggest this is much more than just a little feature patch. Well, it's an attempted technological revolution.
A revolution powered by what exactly?
Gemini is using its super fast Flash model for real-time speed, and then the more powerful Pro model for the deeper analytical stuff.
So our mission today is pretty simple. We're going to synthesize all these sources and give you the absolute shortcut to understanding how Gemini transforms Gmail from that chaotic list into a smart, time-saving assistant. I really see this as the definitive promise of productivity.
And I'm here to provide the necessary critical lens. We have to look at not just the shiny new benefits, but the implications, the adjustments.
Like privacy.
Exactly. Privacy, reliability, how you actually conduct your business. If you're trying to get through a Monday morning, you need to understand the full picture.
Okay, let's unpack this transformation. We'll start with the two features that I think fundamentally change how we interact with old information and create new communications. We're calling this section the detective and the editor.
A good place to start. Let's begin with the detective work, which is search. Because for so many people, just finding an email from 6 months ago is the single biggest time suck in their day.
Which brings us to our first major update, AI overviews and intelligent search. So gone are the days of trying to remember the exact keyword you used in some document title 6 months ago.
Thank goodness. The shift here, and its key, is to true natural language queries.
Meaning what, exactly?
It means you don't have to think like a database anymore. You can think like a person. So instead of typing something weird like recruiter contract month, you can just ask a normal conversational question.
And the sources gave a great example of this, right? It even works across languages.
It does. It shows the power of the model. You could ask, for example, in Spanish, ¿Cuál es el nombre del reclutador que conocí el mes pasado?
What's the name of the recruiter I met last month?
Precisely. And Gemini doesn't just pull up emails with the word recruiter. It processes the intent. It understands what you're asking for.
So it's not just a list of results.
No, it actively synthesizes the data. It will summarize entire email threads for you. It extracts the key details instantly, regardless of the original language. You're getting the answer, not the pile of documents you have to read to find the answer.
That is the crucial difference. It's an answer engine, not a file finder. And there's data to back this up, isn't there?
A lot of it. The New York Times cited a statistic suggesting this new search accelerates the process of finding information by a staggering 50% for the average user.
50%.
Let's just pause on that number for a second. That's not a small tweak.
No.
That's cutting a daily chore in half. If you spend an hour a day looking for stuff, that hour just became 30 minutes. Over a year, that's weeks of recovered time. And, more importantly, a huge reduction in the mental energy you waste just trying to remember what happened last week.
It makes retrieval passive instead of this active, difficult chore.
That's the perfect way to put it.
Okay, so from retrieving information, let's move to creating it. That's update number 2. Proofread, and they help me write expansion. The old proofread was, let's be honest, pretty basic.
It caught typos, yeah.
Yeah.
But this new version is way more sophisticated. It's highly personalized.
What do you mean by personalized?
It goes beyond just grammar. It's correcting your style, making sure the tone is consistent, and even suggesting improvements based on your own historical writing style.
So it learns my professional voice.
It learns your voice and then helps you sound like a sharper, more articulate version of yourself.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Sounding like a better version of me. And the other big news here is that the Help Me Write feature is now free for everyone.
Which is a huge deal. This is where it goes beyond just suggestions and can actually draft or polish emails from scratch for you.
Right, this is where the machine starts to take over some of that emotional labor of writing.
Exactly. The examples we saw are incredibly useful. Like, imagine you have to politely say no to a meeting invitation.
The worst. It takes like 15 minutes to get the phrasing just right.
Right, well, now you can just prompt it. Escribe un email amable rechazando una invitación a una reunión aburrida.
Write a kind email declining an invitation to a boring meeting.
And bang, it drafts a polite, professional refusal for you. It saves all that time we spend trying to be firm but not rude.
The social proof is already there, too. I saw users on X, I think it was at Sauce Junction HQ, calling it a lifesaver for lazy writers.
And that personalization of voice is what pushes this beyond just, simple automation. It feels like true assistance.
That's a perfect transition into our second section, customized curation. This is where Gemini stops just helping with single emails and starts redesigning the entire inbox experience.
Right. And we can start with update number 3, personalized suggested replies. For years, we've had those generic one-click responses.
Okay, thanks. Got it. Yeah, they're not great.
They're not. This is a huge step away from that. We're in bespoke territory now, like a tailored suit for your response.
So what makes them so much better?
It's all about context. Gemini analyzes the full email thread, the tone, the content, the intent for much higher relevance. But the critical part is that it bases the suggestions on your specific writing style.
So I'm usually very direct.
The suggestions will be direct. If you tend to be more formal and wordy, it will match that too. TechCrunch really highlighted this, saying the deep context analysis means these suggestions anticipate what you would probably say anyway.
Which means you're much more likely to use them without having to edit them first.
And that's where the real-time savings come in. But the feature that really captured everyone's imagination, the one they're all calling the most futuristic, is our next update.
The AI inbox.
The AI inbox. This is update number 4, and it fundamentally breaks the 20-year-old tradition of the chronological email list.
How so? What does it do?
It creates what they call a personalized briefing for you every single time you open it. This is a major workflow shift.
Okay, so walk me through that. If it's not chronological, what does that briefing even look like?
The burden of organization is just. It's shifted to the machine. So instead of you having to wade through newsletters and endless status updates, the AI inbox prioritizes the urgent stuff right at the top.
And it summarizes things.
Yes, it summarizes long, important mail. So a long meeting transcript or a complex project update. You can get the key points in just a few seconds.
But the part that I found most fascinating about the AI inbox was its ability to find action items.
Absolutely. It doesn't just categorize. It actively extracts to-dos right from the email body.
So if a client emails me, please review the attached contract by Tuesday.
The AI inbox doesn't just show you the email. It creates a task note at the top of the interface telling you what you need to do, not just what you need to read.
That sounds incredibly powerful. But what about conflicting priorities? Let's say I have an urgent email from HR about benefits that expire tomorrow, but also a high-value request from a huge client. How does the AI decide which one is really number one?
That is a great critical question. And it gets to the limitations of any beta feature. The AI uses historical data, your response times, the sender's importance, urgency markers, and the text to try and weigh those priorities.
But it's not perfect.
It's not infallible, no. Users have to understand that the initial ranking is a suggestion based on probability, not a managerial decree. We're already seeing beta testers being told to, manually check that second tier of priorities just in case.
So we have a detective, an editor, a reply generator, and now a priority-focused inbox. That really covers the internal Gmail experience. Which brings us to our final section, segment 3, cross-app intelligence and, maybe more importantly, the reality check.
Which lead us to update number 5. Personal intelligence, also in beta. This is where Gemini really flexes its muscles by listing its functions across your entire Google ecosystem.
So not just Gmail.
Not just Gmail. We're talking Gmail, Photos, YouTube, and Search, all working together to give you proactive, integrated responses.
That sounds almost omniscient. How does that integration actually work in practice?
It connects the dots across your digital life. The sources gave a really strong example. Imagine you get an email about an upcoming trip to Rome.
Yeah.
Personal intelligence can link that email to your Google Photos, maybe showing you pictures from your last trip to Italy. Or it could cross-reference search and maps to proactively suggest itineraries or flight deals based on your past behavior.
It's using everything it knows about you to anticipate what you need.
Precisely. And that level of deep integration is what raises the biggest red flags about data access. We have to talk about the default setting here.
It's off by default, right?
Yes, and that is so important. It is off by default. The Verge really emphasized this. Users have to understand that when they opt in, they are actively granting the AI access to their entire digital life. It's a choice.
And it's not even available everywhere yet.
Not at all. It's currently US only, so the global rollout is lagging way behind.
Okay, this leads us right into the reality check. This is phenomenal tech, but there are always caveats, there are always trade-offs. What are the key challenges our sources pointed to?
Well, the first, and you could argue the most important, is the privacy trade-off.
The big one.
It is. Now, Google assures everyone that Gemini doesn't train its public models on your private inbox content.
So your data isn't being used to teach the AI for everyone else.
Correct. However, it still accesses that data to perform these hyper-personalized functions. Forbes was very clear on this. Their advice is that opt-out is key. You have to decide what level of convenience is worth that level of data access.
It's the constant bargain of the AI age.
It is. The second challenge is just immediate frustration for a huge part of the user base: availability.
Right, the US only thing.
Exactly. The initial rollout is restricted to U.S. English. This creates, significant global frustration. Professionals in Colombia or Germany, for example, are going to be waiting indefinitely for these productivity tools, even while their U.S. counterparts get an immediate leg up.
And since so many of these cool features are still labeled beta, we have to talk about reliability.
Absolutely. Reliability is not at 100%. You need a firm, trust but verify mindset. If you're drafting a crucial email to a major client, you cannot just blindly trust the automated summary or draft.
You still have to do your due diligence.
You have to. Relying on an automated draft for really important stuff could lead to errors or, at the very least, a weirdly generic or unnatural voice.
And finally, what about adoption and competition? Is everyone just going to jump on this immediately?
Not necessarily. There will always be users who prefer manual control. The sources used a great analogy: the chef who doesn't use a microwave.
I like that.
Yeah. Some people feel that maintaining total control over every word is vital to their professional voice. And besides, Google isn't operating in a vacuum here. They're facing competition from specialized apps like MailMind that focus more on enterprise security. The innovation race is far from over.
And before we wrap, we should mention that little teaser for the future: voice search.
Right. The sources indicate that's coming later this year. You'll be able to just speak your questions to your inbox, another hands-free layer to the whole system.
So, after all that, what does this all really mean? What's the big takeaway here?
The big takeaway is that Gmail is no longer just a container for mail. It's officially moving past that.
It's transforming into something else entirely.
A sophisticated, time-saving, intelligent assistant. It can draft, search, summarize, and prioritize across your entire digital history.
And the impact is what? Higher productivity?
Profound productivity gains, especially for professionals who are just drowning in high volumes of communication. It's democratizing these really sophisticated AI tools and making them accessible to billions of people.
So the final verdict, based on everything we've synthesized for you today, is pretty simple. Update now to get these powerful features.
But immediately go and adjust your privacy settings. You have to actively decide if the convenience of something like personal intelligence is worth the depth of access Gemini needs.
Right. And this deep dive should make sure you're thoroughly informed about all those updates, the mechanics, and the trade-offs you're facing.
You're now ready to make that choice.
But this is where it gets really interesting. And here's something for you to think about as you start organizing your new AI inbox. If an AI can anticipate, synthesize, and draft 80% of your professional communication.
Handling the polite rejections, the follow-ups, the complex information retrieval.
And it does it all perfectly.
Yeah.
How does that fundamentally change your digital communication style? Or even the perception of your professional voice?
That's a deep question. If the AI is learning to sound like a better version of you, what boundaries are actually necessary in an environment of total personalized intelligence? That's the question we'll leave you with.
Until the next deep dive, stay informed.